Hello and welcome to an Everquest guide on a 125 Paladin, and this is how I play the Paladin. This is what I do. We're going to go over, just playing the Paladin plus boxing the Paladin, and, pretty much what you see in all my videos. Alright, we're going to start with spells, and we're going to go into hotbar. We're going to talk about how I have things set up that, make things specific, and then we'll go over, talk about gear a little bit. My gear is not the best, but I can do everything. So we'll start here. So my first two spells, Petition for Honor, rank 2. This is pretty much a near instacast taunt ability. It increases hatred by 21,000, and then it adds like a hatred over time effect. So that's pretty nice. It also reduces melee damage by 10% for 30 seconds. So this one right here reduces that melee damage. So you want this up on all mobs all the time and recast as necessary. So it's 1 minute, but you probably want to recast it every 30 seconds. The other one here, Valiant Disruption. So this is just another hate generating spell, so that will generate 22,000 hatred and then heal the current target for 18,000. So if I'm fighting this guy and I'm his target, when I hit that spell, it's going to put 22,000 points of hatred on me, and then it will heal me for 18,000. Now let's say I'm fighting this guy, I have two or three pets and they're all like ping-ponging aggro, and I will heal the pet if it's the target, so keep that in mind. Or other players that have pulled aggro, so it's kind of nice in that effect also. Alright, then I have a Fanatical Audacity, which is a magic resistance lowering spell, but it also increases hatred by 10,000 every 6 seconds for a minute, so this is just pretty much... you get hate and you keep the hate kind of thing. It's a really good spell. It's like Tash if you've played an enchanter. All right, and then Chastise. This is a damaging spell, so this does 11,000 damage, and then heals the target's target for 13,000. If it's undead, it'll do 17,000. If it's summoned, 15,000. It also generates a little less hatred, so I do this on cooldown. It's a good spell. It's multi-targeted, so you don't have to worry about not being able to do it. It's a 5-second recast, so it's not too bad. Then I have Crush of the Heretic, or Crush of the Heroic. I'm sorry. Channels a holy power into a cohesive bolt of energy, dealing 28,000 hatred. In addition to causing 9,500 damage, this spell will cause 12,000 damage to undead and 11,000 to summoned. Typically, it's hard to find a summoned mob, but they do exist, the elementals and stuff. So it's a good all-around spell. It is it's hatred, and that's you're gonna see a theme in the spells I run. Because I don't want my boxes or my group to take any damage. I don't really care about doing damage because I'm not going to do a lot of damage as a paladin. So then I have Ecliptic Force. This is the Knight of Shadows, I want to say. Maybe Terra Luclin. Yeah, one of the two. It's the progressive ability from there. We're going to get a new one here in the next expansion in December, so it'll be replaced. Then I can still keep it. At this point, it's 9,000 to 11,000 mana. I have 328,000 mana, so it is not that bad like it was when I first got it. It's like, what, 4% of my mana? And it's a 60-second recast. It's a stun. It's a heal. It's just great. I do it on cooldown. Avowed Light and Burst of Sun Spring. These are my two self-healing abilities. Well, they're target healing, but the point is to heal myself. If I'm, if I don't have aggro, whoever has aggro will get the heals. So, because I play in a multibind situation. So it works really well. This is a 13,000 point heal and a 26,000 point heal. Very good. And they're you know, see if I can turn it. They're like near instacast, like not quite instant, but that one's, you know, fairly quick. Then Splash of Heroism. Splash of Heroism is a AoE heal, cure, all-in-one greatness, and it has, I don't believe it has a target cap. If it does, it is a lot, because it's pretty good. And you see here, it heals for 5,500, but if we look at this, 32,000 with all the modifiers and stuff I have now, so it's pretty good. Then I have Protective Acceptance. This is just a melee defensive buff, right? So you get that on there. Heals the target for, you know, 12,000 hit points. Places a ward that absorbs 15% of incoming melee damage for 1 minute, up to what is that? 133,000. So like a hit or two, right? So I pretty much do this on not cooldown, but you know, quite a bit. Like a lot of mobs, I don't even need it. I can two-hand fight them, and I don't even have to worry about them. But sometimes you do. And then we have these last three are just self buffs that kind of don't have a really long duration. So the first one here, Number All Blessing. Here, this one automatically attempts to stun the target and heal your group for 8,800. So places a blessing on yourself, which will cause you to automatically attempt to stun your target with this stun here that does 11,000 damage. All right, keep that in mind. And then it'll also heal the group. Whenever another caster's heals between levels 111 and 125 land on you, this blessing will fade after 2 minutes, or if you've done 40 stuns, right? So you pop it, it goes over here, you got 40 charges, right? Now, the way I play is I run a cleric, I run a shaman, and in most cases, they're like spam healing me. So this is proccing constantly. I'm taking a lot less damage because the mobs are getting stunned, and then that is going back and healing the group. So when the way it works out is I don't even have to like target healing with some of this stuff. It's just insane how strong some of these abilities are for the Paladin. And then we have Preservation of Fern. So this bathes you in a holy blessing, increasing your strength by 85, your armor class by 56. Increasing the hatred your actions inspire by 15%, adds incoming attacks to trigger this effect, and then after you've done it 32 times, it's gone. So you know, click that, we get 32 charges right there, 4 minute duration. So this heals us for 5,200, and then heals for 3,900. So it's pretty crazy. Every time we get hit, that happens. Pretty much. It's a chance, but it happens a lot. And then we have Unwavering Stance, which is just our stance ability for this level. There we go. I actually fizzled it. I mean, 471k to 524k hit points. So, you know, we're getting at 53,000 hit points for this. I keep it up at all times. It just really gets me into that, you know, extra tanky stance. And if I put on you know, my one-handed shield, I'm missing some buffs right now, but I usually break 10k armor class, so definitely worth having. But this is my general loadout. Now I do switch, you know, over here I have a little macro for Brells. Brells is our it's our group buff that, you know, does quite a bit of whatever. Where did it go? Brells right here. So 11,000 hit points for that buff, right? It stacks with symbols, stacks with everything except some ranger buffs. So it's really nice. And then I run an aura. What is this one? Blessed Aura. So this gives us, I believe, is it going to say here? Increases the potency of healing spells. I think it's like a 40% increased potency. One of these says it. Yeah, it doesn't say. You got to look like on like Lucy or Alakazam or Raid Loot to see the actual numbers, but it really increases like that stuff. So like, let's see here, Sunspring, 99,000 before it did. That was a critical. Let's see if we can get a critical out of one of these. Twin cast. It's too hard to compare, but it definitely gives more healing. You can see right there. Yeah, there's a twin cast. Maybe these are equivalent, so that's 4,700, and this one did 47,400. It's hard to tell, but it does more. It's worth it. I'm, constantly being healed by my cleric, my shaman. The necromancer even heals me. The bard heals me. Like, there's healing going on. It's crazy. The bard heals me via procs of the weapons she runs, so it's useful, plus all the other stuff. And it affects the whole group, so everybody gets a little extra healing there. But that's pretty much the loadout I mostly use for spells. You could switch these out, right? If you're not tanking, you're doing a two-hander, there's another tank in the group, all of these taunting spells you're probably going to drop and switch to damage spells, right? I don't do that, so I don't know exactly the best lineup to do there, but you're not going to want to run these if somebody else is tanking. I don't ever have that situation, so I don't have to worry about it. Hotbar wise, I do a multibind and I multibox when I play this character, so I rarely play him only by himself unless I'm doing like a video of this, like this video. He's the only character I have loaded right now. So, this is like one of the few times I play him by himself. But I have taunt on my bar here, and then I multibind 4 and 5 via the in-game interface, right? So if I hit 4, all the hotbar buttons with 5 on them will activate. If I hit 5, they do the same thing, right? So I've bound the same key to these last 2 bars, right? So if I hit 5, any one of these abilities will fire off, and so I have the first ability here. Turns attack on, because sometimes you forget to turn attack on. It casts 1, which will do petition, and then a pet attack, pet swarm. There is a situation where you get some pets sometimes, like and stuff like that, just in case I have them there, so I don't have to think about it other times. And then I have grid or gird. Yeah, gird. So this will, withstand the next 2 incoming attacks, reducing the damage by 90%. So huge thing. You want to use that on cooldown. So it's my second ability, technically first ability, I guess, in my multi-blind. And then I have petition again, because I use petition on cooldown. It's got what is the cooldown here? It's got a few second cooldown. I use it on cooldown. Sometimes this petition for honor, like for some reason I don't get it sometimes. It says it'll trigger it, but sometimes it doesn't. So I make sure I always have that going. And then I have pretty much down the line here, spell wise, Valiant, Fanatical, what is this one? Elliptical, and then Chastise. I was having some issues where it wouldn't get to the next one sometimes. And then I have a heal in there, and then Crush, and then Force, and then another heal, and then Ageless and Enmity. This is just another taunt, and then Unconditional Affirmation, which is a it's more of a, like, I guess I want to call it a taunt. Let's just call it a taunt with benefits. And then Reflexive Redemption. I think this is the wrong spell. I don't think my UI saved last time I changed these around. So let me see here. This is a timer 19. Did we get an upgrade for this? Does not look like we got an upgrade for this timer 19 here. All right, so that's a level 19 spell. It only does 14 1400 damage, two-handed strike, but it's extra damage. Vanquish of the Fallen. This does 150,000 damage at my current rank to undead targets, which is crazy because this will crit for in the millions. So it's pretty nice. Like if you're grinding in like older undead content and stuff like that, there's not a whole lot of Lorien Song undead, but in like COV, TOV, there is a ton of undead, and you just like destroy them. It's fun. I can run around with a two-hander in like just be god mode. It's great. Righteous Disdain, which is another two-handed strike that does 1,000 damage, and it'll give you extra anger, I guess. I don't know. I do it on cooldown. it's just extra stuff. And then I have my Unified Phoenix Feather. We did a video on this one a while back, but this gives a 1,600 point damage shield, 1,000 point spell damage shield, and or 10,000 point, and 1,000 health, mana, and endurance regeneration. So every single one of my characters has the feather. I just kind of like round robin it, going around to each one and doing it, but the Paladin does it on cooldown just to make sure he's always using it, so I don't have to think about him. If I was playing without boxing, I would probably not do it that way, but works for me, so that's all that really matters. So that's my multibind and how I have like that up. So like 4 and 5 here, they're like loaded abilities that are, you know, pretty significant. If I come over here to this guy and I'm just gonna press 4 and kind of spam it. So I'm spamming 4 as I speak here. You can see how it's activating all these abilities, and everything gets used on cooldown, and it's pretty good, right? I'm hitting, you know, fairly decently, and I do have bash auto skilled, so on cooldown he will bash, so it works out pretty well. It's kind of like the combat time we got on extended target there for a second. I'm not in a group right now. I don't have a mercenary, so I can't set the assist, so you can see that, but I don't assist anybody with this character, so it works pretty well for me. It's, you know, it should work for you if you try it. So yeah, that's 4 and 5. 6 is nothing. I save that for abilities on other characters, so it's just blank. 7, 8, and 9 are all burn. So Paladin has some burn abilities, not a whole lot, but we can kind of go through them. Let's see here. Valorous Rage increases your base melee damage by 135%. Base damage, you know, just more damage. Judgment grants your melee a chance to trigger this ability, does 75,000 damage to undead, 20,000. So I get 30 strikes of that every time I swing. It's like insane, right? Armor, see here. This one increases the duration of healing spells, increases armor class, so it just makes me tankier than Spire. Right here, increases the maximum hit points, maximum strength, blesses everybody with Apex, which gives everybody a better 32% healing, increases the minimum damage of melee, avoidance, chance to parry, makes me tankier. You know, it's just all around great for a burning situation where, which in my case, right, when I burn, it's against a name that might be tricky. Like say maybe a group mission named, like the guy in Final Fuge. I burn on him because I don't want to have to worry about healing or anything like that while I'm fighting him. I want to do as much damage as possible, so I, you know, activate all the burns. This makes me pretty much God mode for you know however long it lasts. And then while all that's going on, all my other characters are doing their own, and it just multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. Like now when my, you know, the 32% extra plus the 40% for Blessed Aura or whatever it is, maybe that's only 20%, you know, it gets up there. So, you know, one remedy now does, you know, my whole health bar. You know, it gets crazy. So, you know, it's always good to have that. My second burn button, I have group armor. I'm not sure what that one is. I think it's this one right here, group armor. So it's the same thing as the armor one we did on the last button, but this one, you know, does it for the whole group. Thunder of Kunar, and you'll notice that I don't have the max level AA. I kind of pettered out when it comes to grinding AA at the moment. But here we go, Thunder of Kunar, Thunder of Karana. Activated, increases the base damage of my spells. Now, I'm not doing a lot of damage. I think Chastise is my only damage spell. So that's the only one that's going to get affected by that. But if you were running a different setup where you're doing, you know, more damage, this would benefit more. I just throw it in here because I don't care. Handed Tunar allows you to twin cast healing spells. So, and this also, you know, affects a Valiant, the Valiant line, this line right here, and the Denouncement line, which I don't think, I think it's this one. I think this is why I'm doing it. I can't remember exactly, but it allows them to be twin cast, so it makes it even more insane. And then I click the breastplate using use item 17. Which will imbue us with a chance to do Soothing Zeal up to 30 times. Soothing Zeal is a 36,000 heal. So when I swing my sword, I heal myself for 36,000, which is affected by all the other stuff that's currently going on. And then I used the Blood Coater's Drinking, which I don't believe this character actually has. Yeah, that's from when I imported them from Front Vi. That is a life tap potion that you can get from the Gribbles missions. It drops in one of those. There's an upgraded one from, let's see here, Night of Shadows. It's on my to-do list. I just petered out. Let's see here. It's Bravery of one of these. I think it's the Wolf one. Yeah, Spirit Drinker's coating right here. So if we inspect this, coats your weapon in life tab poison, causing 4% of your melee damage to heal you. So if I hit for 100, I get healed for 4, right? Makes sense. Now you multiply that by, you know, I'm hitting for what? You know, 70,000, so I'm getting healed for 700. 200,000, I'm getting hit for 20,000, right? I think that's it. Yeah, 4%. I don't know. You like the math, right? I don't know. Doing math in my head where I'm talking is not my strong suit. You'll notice I fail at simple math when I do that. But Burn 3 here is just Intensity of the Resolute, which is a special AA that everybody gets that just increases damage. Doesn't stack with anything else, so I have it on its own button there, but it's extra damage just in case you need it. So then I have a button to tell my other characters to sit. So if I hit 0, 0 on their button is, or on their hotbars is sit. It doesn't do anything for me because I don't want to sit at all. Escape, we have Balefire is the Paladin escape. Balefire Burst lets you escape. Turns you invisible. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's hard to say sometimes how that works. And then I have my pull ability, so I pull with numpad 1 on my mouse, so I can just hit the mouse button and pull, and then I can run back. So I don't have to move my fingers off of WSD while doing that. And then next to that, so typically this is how I do a pull, right? So let's say I want to pull this dummy. I'll pull him, I'll run, say my guys are over here. And then while he's running to me, I'll hit 2. So because protective acceptance does the targeted target. Since I did a petition on him first, which means I'm his target. Now I can do this and I will be the target and I'll get protective. That makes sense. And then I got that going, and then I go into the multibind from that point. So for numpad 4 and 5, these are short and long dots. So on my shaman and on my necromancer, they don't multi-bind on 4 and 5. They only multi-bind on 5. So when I hit numpad 1, the necromancer and the shaman do dots, and it's just the short ones versus the long ones. That's pretty much all that is, really. And I don't have a button for it, but numpad 3 is debuffs, which does the same thing. Only the characters without a 4 will do that. So like the necromancer, shaman, and I think enchanter. Then I have a hot button for splash. I like to be able to use that on my mouse whenever I want. You see how big that line, like those toys over there got hit by it from right here. It's pretty insane. And then just a reminder, like on all my characters, everybody has a short-term buff they can do that'll buff the tank, and I do those. So like the mage damage shields that do like insane damage. The cleric has some abilities. I just have them all macroed on numpad 7, so when I hit that, they all buff me. I don't have any of those characters loaded right now, so it's hard to show that, but that's what it does. Leap of Faith jumps me forward a bunch. It's great for when you're playing like one character. Terrible when you're boxing, because if I'm faced this way and one character's faced like that, like they go in like a V, if you will, and just not useful. Tranquil, Blessing, and Mass buff. That is pretty much when I do Brels. I'm dead in the lobby. I do one of those, and everybody in the lobby gets Brels. So it's nice. And then I have some teleport items like the Lorien Song thing, Night of Shadows one, the Tower one, the Stein, the Guild Hall teleporters, Gate Potions, Fellowship teleporter, Origin to wherever this character's origined at, and Throne to go back to Guild Lobby. I kind of have them all set up the same on all my characters, so I can do the IS Boxer key repetion and just like hit it and they all teleport at the same time. Works pretty nice. This is a heal macro I used to use. I don't use it anymore. I don't know what's on my stone bar right there. Let me throw that away. Harmonic Dissonance. This just teleports you Theater Blood. Probably should just put it like right there so it's out of the way. Healing experience potions. They save a lot of time leveling up for sure, so definitely use those. Same with Lesson of Devout. Experience bonuses. And then that's all. So that's a multi-bind. Let's see here. We got Hallowed Blue Star. This is one of our AoE taunts. I clearly haven't leveled it up, so it doesn't even work for me up to level 118 mobs. I haven't really needed it. It's there. It just generates AoE hatred. Heroic Leap is the same thing. AoE hatred doesn't seem to have a level cap on it. I haven't upgraded it since 115. And then Beacon. This is another AoE taunt. Same thing, level capped though, 118. So eventually I'll need to get these upgraded so I can actually AoE taunt, but the way I play it doesn't matter. I can pull a few mobs and like I have pets on taunt, so I'll just target one. The pets will attack that. I can target another one. I can take it. I can take them all. I can pop defensive, and they're all going to attack me. So I'm good when it comes to that, but ideally I want to have those AAs upgraded as soon as possible. Shield Flash. This is probably one of my favorite AAs for sure. So it's, a little bit of resources to block the next incoming attacks for 6 seconds. So you get 6 seconds of pretty much get a heal on me ASAP. It's really nice. I love it. I used to use it a lot. Like when I used to do single target heals, the Paladin would cast this, and the other characters would be doing the heals, but now it's like it doesn't even matter. Like he's nothing in the game right now that I fight at my level is really doing much to him. So it's pretty good. And then we have Mantle of Remembrance. This is just one of our mini like a small defensives. It's nothing like the warrior defensive lines, but it reduces 35% of the incoming melee damage for 1 minute and absorbs up to 4 million. And it'll heal me too. So it's pretty nice. And then we have Armor of the Avowed. Same thing pretty much. This one increases our armor, absorbs some incoming melee damage. Let's see here. And a chance to stun up to level 130, dealing 4,500 damage. So this one's pretty nice. The stuns are always great to have because they not only they stop damage, like it's like Shadow Knights can life tap and heal it back, right? A Paladin can literally stop damage. And now I'm not running a lot of stuns here because I don't need it that much, right, for what I'm doing. Because like I have stuns on my Bard and all my other characters, but like it's, if I wanted to stun lock a mob, I could literally load all these up with stuns, and I could probably keep a mob pretty much 100% stun locked and do almost no damage to me. But it's a little bit more boring because there's not that many abilities because they have long reuse times. But it's an option. Revered Guardian. So this is 117. I don't think we got an upgrade to this one yet. I think we'll get it in the next expansion. But again, reduces our melee damage, but it will reduce the damage we take by 36%. So it's, you know, percentage is perfect when it comes to these kind of things, because that just makes us pretty much unkillable unless there's too many mobs. Champion's Oath is a new one that we just got a few patches ago. I haven't used it too much, so all I know is that it's getting a buff in the next patch because it's kind of weak from what I can tell right now from what reading on the test server. But it protects against 81% of incoming melee damage up to different, you know, rank levels. These levels get buffed in the next one, the next patch. It requires a lot of mana, which I felt like it was a real big mana drain, but we'll see how that goes as we go, you know, further in the game. Let's see here, and then there's just shortcuts to the 3 self buffs that I keep up at all times. I wish they lasted longer because it's kind of tedious to cast a, what is that, a 4 minute, and the other one is like 8 minutes. Yeah, it's just kind of tedious to have to think about that all the time. Then I have Divine Aura, which will make us invulnerable for 18 seconds, and then it'll heal us for quite a bit. So I think I've used that one once or twice, but not a whole lot. Lay of Hands, this is our pretty much complete heal with a bunch of heal over time. It'll heal the target of target, or your target, or yourself if you don't have a target. It is a great spell. Get it really early in the game too. It heals so much. And then we get Hand of Piety, which is pretty much a group lay on hands. 75,000 damage versus like 200,000. And then it heals for 25,000 over time. So anytime like something's going wrong, I'll hit one of these just to kind of like help out if I needed. But the more gear I get and the further AA, you know, more AAs I get, I become so much stronger. Like it's crazy. Like compared to my 120 Shadow Knight I had on Throne of Vi or Bristlebane, whatever it was, this character feels like literally so much stronger. Like I might not be able to solo some stuff because I don't have damage, but I feel like I could just live for days, you know. And then Gift of Life is another AoE lay of hands. This one does 65,000 and 25,000 over time. It's great. It's perfect. And then Mars Gift. This one is really cool because it'll heal me for 60,000, but it'll also restore 45,000 mana and 11,000 endurance. This is a 10-minute reuse, so I pretty much use this as much as often as I can. Early, if you remember in some of the videos, I was really having issues with mana for a while there, so I was using it a lot. I don't have that same issue with the current spell lineup, so just, you know, it's there. It's great. I use it a lot. Mod rod. I run a mage, so I always have mod rods, so I always click those. One hand and two hand. All this does is switch my sword from one hand to two hand, so I can, if I want to do more damage, which I believe gets nerfed next patch anyway, I use a two-hander. If I want to tank and make sure that everybody's not going to have any issues with me tanking, I use a one-handed shield and whatnot. So Divine Call, this is a pretty cool spell. I need to upgrade it to the final rank, but effectively it pulls a mob to you instead of like waiting for it to run to you. It forces it to run to you. Pretty good for positioning mobs in different places. Radiant Cure, Blessing of Purification, and Purification. These are all just cures. They will cure pretty much everything. Splash cures everything too, so it's kind of like you get a lot of ability curing right out of the bat, right there with the Paladin. Shackles is our root AA. I don't think I've ever really used it. Like, I tried using it and it didn't work. like in the sense that, like, the root didn't last long enough. It was just easy. It's easier for me just to straight face tank everything than it is to try and, you know, position a guy here and position a guy here. It's just easier just to destroy everything with the current way I play. A Gift of Resurrection. This is just our AA ability to cast our 96% res, just like a cleric. Knight's Calming. So this is an endurance regeneration. I don't think I've ever used it. Never had an issue with endurance. This is our breastplate, same as use item 17. I just have it right there. Then my Brel's macro. So obviously this is pretty crazy here. But it's pause 50, you know, Mem Brel into slot 10. I don't use slot 13 because I have stance and it's like a 7-minute reuse or something like that. Or a 2-minute reuse now, I guess. So I use slot 10 since it's instant reuse. So I just do that. Mem's the spell, cast it. Same with Aura, same thing. Speed of the Savior. So this is like our... It gives us like cello speed. So you see here, I probably have cellos on, honestly. I don't see it. All right, so let's see what our speed is. So we have 55 velocity right now. So if I can't even use it. So it's something I did that. Maybe we have it on us right now. I don't know. Anyway, it gives us cellos. It's great for like when you're pulling and cellos runs off. You can just click that and you can keep running it, you know, pretty much the same speed. Obviously Bard speed is faster, but works good. Mars Salvation reduces the hatred of everybody in a group. So I just, every so often, I mean, it's what, a 10-minute duration. I cast it. I have it blocked on me, so it won't hit me, but it hits everybody in my group, so it works pretty well. Then the Familiar. Let's see here. Can I inspect that Familiar? Familiars are great. You get them from expansion rewards. I don't have the latest one because I'm saving. I'm saving the Hero Forge quest completion for my Shadow Knight persona, so he can get like 40% experience of a level. But it's, you know, 3 to 6 maximum health by 1400. The new one only adds like a 1% and 100 to that, so it's not too bad. Not too big of a difference. And finally, Divine Protector's Unity is our self buff everything Unity. Vowed Fury, Heroic Faith, Penance of Fallen, Silent Piety. All those get on there. Single cast. So much. So good. But yeah. That's all the hot bars. This is like nothing over there. And gear-wise, so currently I'm running the tower face because it has anger on it, and I did not have an anger mask. So as a paladin, you want an anger mask. Shadow Knight Warrior also, but you want that. You want as much luck as you can get. You can buy these from the tower for the timeless tokens. You can buy those. Just run the mission. It's like go in and like turn on attack and collect 10 tokens every day from each of those, and you'll get enough. And you just buy them until you get 100% there. But fully maxed out here with all my Augs. It's 14,000 hit points. Pretty nice. Let's see here. I'm using a sword and shield. I believe these are tier 2 from the group mission. I believe I don't have any of the. I don't have crafting yet, so I haven't spent the time to get my crafting up. But once I do, I'll get the tier 3 stuff. But it's pretty decent weapons. Like this is the 28 ratio one-hander, and the shield 12,000 hit points. Good stats. It's really nice. Armor wise, I'm wearing tier 1. Obviously, you'd want to get the best you can get. Now, I guess one question I probably should go over is Augs. And what's heroic stat? I'm trying to find one. It's like they're all mixed right now. I don't have perfect Augs yet. So there's like 2 options, right? There's the agility Aug. I bought a few of these. So, the heroic agility. Now there's also it's an older one, but it's the same concept, right? This one is heroic and dexterity. So like it's hard to say, honestly. Like I've done a lot of research on it, saying what is the best heroic stat for a tank. Now, some people say heroic stamina 100%. Some people say heroic agility 100%. Some say heroic dexterity for a group tank, and raid tank is agility, right? Like it's just totally all over the place. And I truly don't know the answer. I have a mix of heroic agility, heroic stamina, and heroic dexterity at the moment. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Like the stamina gives you more hit points. Dexterity gives you more procs and stuff. It's just really strange. I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna go with like agility though. I feel like being able to add more to my avoidance is probably gonna be better. And then if I ever do like a pickup raid or something like that on the server, I will have the ability to do that without being too squishy, I suppose. I don't know 100% on that, but it is what it is. It's still a work in progress because obviously I'm missing like probably 30,000 AAs at this point. But yeah, so that's pretty much there. You're gonna want to have a Emperor Quartz Protector source. This one is 1,800 hit points. So you can notice all my gear with purity. They lose mana, they gain hit points, right? So just makes us tankier and stuff like that. And let's see, everything else is like tier 1 gear. Cloak. Here we go. The cloak and the necklace. We can talk about those real quick. So they recently changed the cloak and the necklace to be class agnostic. So it doesn't matter what class you are and you can use it, which is fantastic because you can use personas and swap them around without having to worry about it. But as you can see, like these are best in slot until probably next expansion on the cloak, and then the next expansion after the next expansion on the necklace. These are going to be, unless they come out with new ones, these are going to be probably the best items you can get, especially if you raid, because you can go even higher on the stats on a lot of these things. So definitely get those. This comes from Night of Shadows missions, and this one comes from Lorien Song missions. Rare drop. I think I've only gotten 2 of them, so I haven't been doing the mission enough though, so like that. But everything else is, you know, just like pretty much class agnostic gear. Like I need to replace this earring with a tier 2 one so I can get luck on there. Things like that. You know, I need a better luck roll on that. So it's, you know, a lot of little things. I really haven't focused on gear. I can complete all the content in Lorien's Song with my current gear without really even having to think about it. Like, I don't know, if you watch the videos, like it's you know, it starts out hard and it slowly gets easier, especially, you know, with as all my other characters hit to 125, things just got simpler and simpler as they started doing more and more damage. All right, I think that's everything. I don't think I have much else to say. If there's any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll try to answer them the best I can. If you like the video, subscribe, whatever. Yeah, but thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.